And we're also now starting to see our near peers focusing on practicing dogfighting in space with satellite on satellite. The environment has completely changed. There used to be a capability gap between us and our near peers, mainly driven by the technological advancement of the United States. That capability gap used to be massive. That capability gap is significantly narrowed. It was a gentleman's agreement until recent that we didn't mess with each other's space systems. We didn't jam them, we didn't spoof them, we didn't laze them. We just kept them safe. What's more concerning is the new kit that they're bringing to the fight. Nesting dolls in space that capable of launching an ASAT to take out, or a missile to take out another satellite. Shadowing U.S. satellites. Multiple satellites up there today are shadowing our U.S. satellites in a cat and mouse game. We move, they move, we move, they move. We don't know what their intent is. We don't know what their capabilities are. Unsafe, unprofessional. We're seeing grappling arms in space capable of towing another satellite or holding it hostage. We're seeing nukes in space now, or the talk of nukes in space. That would have never happened. Now we're seeing hypersonics capable of traveling in excess of 3,800 miles an hour, capable of carrying all sorts of different warheads. How do we combat that? We're seeing small UASs flying over our cities. We're seeing fractional orbital bombardment systems, or a missile capable of going all the way around the planet in low Earth orbit and striking any point on the globe that they want to hit. And we're
Hey, Shalom, Yasha Allah. First and foremost, I would like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chadash. Double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. And peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp. And I just wanted to make this lesson and make a couple key points and something that I noticed. For one, Esau Edom has been getting ready with his Space Force. There's been multiple presidents that talked about so-called these future wars in space. He said that the enemies are getting more technologically advanced, and they have a lot of the similar capabilities and same technology that we do, being, the U.S., So what that is it's just making prophecy move forward, man, because we understand that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to come and crack in those clouds. And this devil, Esau Edom, thinks that through his technology and the pride of his heart that he's actually going to be able to, I guess you could say, put up a fight against the coming judgment that he's going to have to face inevitably. And this is General Michael A. Gutlin, United States Space Force. So again, I can't believe, I was trying to look exactly where he was giving this speech, but I believe he was giving it to a group of either military officers that were at a thing at West Point, but I could be mistaken, but I kind of just wanted to get this lesson together, because the point that he's saying is in the video. It's kind of relevant where he said it or who he said it to. The fact that this is major generals that are talking about these things that they're seeing with other countries, and not to mention just other countries, things that they're saying, which are UASs, unidentified aerial satellites is what they call them. But we understand that there's been multiple stories of the chariots messing with these satellites. But one of the points that I wanted to bring out is that the Space Force organization, Slovakia, fucking ads. But one of the Space Force's and NASA's goal is, we understand that it was started off of Operation Paperclip, not Space Force, but NASA, because 50% of the scientists got over here to the United States after the fall of Germany and after World War II, and 50% of them, half of them went over to Russia, and that's when you had SpaceX, over there in Sputnik is what they called it, that was launched over in Russia first, but these are just a couple quick images that I wanted to show out there to show you that, they have symbolism in what they put out there as their patches, As you can see, talking about like the grays being that beast. There's one, the very last one is the one I wanted to show, and these are actual patches that were given out. As you can see, the all-seeing eye, the pyramid. So this is Esau being, he's the prince of the power of the air. The last one, this is the one I was looking for. Where is it? Salaki Israel. This is just kind of photo thing. This is the Phoenix, man, because they understand, that ultimately they're gonna have to come out of some intense judgment. And not like that this is the main point of the lesson, but it just goes to show you the type of agency that is being used to push this, I guess you could say, next fight in space, which we know is all part of Esau's goal, in the fact that he wants to control all aspects, in the fact that he wants to know what's going on under the ground, on top of the ground, in the water, in the sky, in space, everywhere he wants to, take over. And he doesn't like not being the top dog in space, or top dog anywhere. That's why Esau is not going to share his rulership, and that's why it's a security concern when these other nations start to be able to start doing the same things and practice with the satellites, in the sense that they can maneuver them. And he said they're nest eggs or nest houses, or what he said, because they can actually have missiles, in the satellites just waiting. It's in the satellite and it's just waiting. So they don't know like which ones have them and which ones don't, So again, man, and there's no formal contract. As you heard him say, there was what's called a gentleman's agreement, and I have the article screenshotted, not that one, where he said it talked about his it talked about the type of agreement they had. They said, here it is. This is Gulen warned that China and Russia have broken a gentleman's agreement, an informal understanding that the U.S., Russia, and China would not mess with each other's space systems. So again, because space doesn't have any so-called laws yet, because believe it or not, the law of the world actually has an altitude point. So once you get past that, there's really no laws. It's like general space. Everyone can go into space, and how can you tell which country you're over when you're so far up? And that goes into the Hebrew word shemayim, which is connected to the word mayam, which is waters, and shemayim, it goes into the heavens, and talking about that space, like when you're underwater and you're just floating, that's talking about that space where the satellites are. And I'm going to get the more in-depth meaning of those words after these scriptures. This is Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Talking about Esau, Edom, always wanting to be that top cave dweller. That's why he has these skyscrapers. That's why he builds buildings so tall. That's why the top place to be if you're in a skyscraper is called the penthouse, which is all the way at the top, man. This is verse 4, because he likes to look down on people, that spirit of that proud eagle. Salakia, verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. Amen. Yahweh Bashim Shai is gonna come. Yahweh Shai is gonna come and crack those clouds in a massive chariot. And if brothers have not seen this video, this video came out in 2020, but this is a recording of I guess you could say Ezekiel's wheel, of a huge chariot bigger than the earth passing by. Crazy. Hey man, that's not just a random rock formation. So again, that's why Esau is making
Starting to
these
see
certain preparations. And he's saying that he's getting ready to fight other enemies in space. Nah, man, he's getting ready for that armada that he's seen that's gonna showing up in 2027 according to his statistics. You know, but I wanted to get a little bit more understanding of the heavens. This is layers of the atmosphere. Just to show you what Esau calls different layers. We understand that there's the three heavens. We have the heavens of the sky that you can see, like our air that we breathe inside the earth. And then you have the area past that, which is the heavens, which is the space. And then you have heaven, which is the third heaven, and that's in the second heaven, which is like space and the stars and all that stuff where the planets are in orbit. But then you have the third heaven, and that's where, I guess you could say the fourth dimension, the throne and where Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is, I guess you could say like the heavenly realm, you know. So again, this is what Esau calls it. It'd be the exosphere that these satellites are in, you know. But I wanted to get that Hebrew word for Shemayim, Shemayan, but it's Shemayim, pronounced correctly. So this is Strong's H8064. This is Samayim, and this is how they pronounce it.
Strong's H 8064. Shamayim. Shamayim.
And we know it's Shamayam, being the heavens, the sky, the visible heavens, the abode of the stars. And it's really similar to the word waters, which Mayam goes into the word waters. And you can see that, you can use the example Genesis 1 and 2. Here it is. Mayam.
Strong's H 4325. My.
So that goes into waters. Water, feet, urine. So I guess anything, that liquid state, So, but it goes to show you that it's a very similar, because that goes to show you how, I was kind of explaining how when you're underwater, how you're just kind of floating there. If you go swimming or you're in the pool, and you're just looking around, man, you're kind of just in limbo. But it goes to show you that the scriptures talk about these things, man. And it's nothing extreme that these devils aren't going to go and occupy that area, because it's not an extreme that they can't get to, in the sense, but they can't get past the Van Allen belt. Yeah, they can put some satellites in orbit, they can go put some space junk, get it in zero gravity, but ultimately this devil has bounds that he cannot cross, and we understand that that's according to prophecy as well, and things that he can and cannot do, which Charagma being the ultimate form of his wickedness, until this devil marks himself for destruction by putting that out there, or ever since the beginning. That's just one of the, I guess you could say, the straw that broke the camel's back. When that Charagma comes out, Jacob's trouble, and he starts putting hell on Jake. So again, this is 2 Ezra 13 and 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So we understand this is ultimately going to be talking about when Yahweh Shai comes and cracks those clouds. But what the point is, that he's going to come, from the sky, from the heavens. And Esau thinks that he's going to be able to have any sort of defense by having extra satellites with missiles up there. Man, he's going crazy. Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, neither he lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, which you understand is, different laser beam, high energy weapons, that these chariots have, and whatever type of weaponry that they're going to be using, which it's a heat-based fire weapon that's going to be like a plasma, man. You can't even describe it with human words, man. It's going to be something out of this world, literally. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And we understand this is ultimately going to be also as well Esau's armies here on earth in the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of decision, where the Lord is going to come, and judge these nations, Armageddon, Yahweh Shabbat. So we understand that this devil's getting ready in space. He's practicing dogfighting. He's getting nervous with these other nations. And we understand that ultimately it's going to get ready to, all these nations are going to stop fighting each other and they're going to fight whatever's coming at them. Like Ronald Reagan said in that quote, if we got attacked by an outside force, wouldn't we all put our differences aside and band together? Is one of his most famous quotes. It's talking about an alien invasion, so-called. And the best way to describe that is the movie Independence Day with Will Smith is what we talk about all the time. So again, Salakia, Yashar Aleph, I was all over the place. I was kind of just, coming and trying to get all the information out with what this general was saying, the meaning of the word heavens and what Esau calls them. And then also the similarities of it with water and how the scriptures in the blue letter is on point, especially when you understand that we don't live in such an enclosed so-called flat earth as bullshit like some of these bug outs are talking about, man. But again, this is something that this devil is taking seriously. And man, a lot of brothers have seen, videos come out of chariots messing with these satellites. So that's what Esau is really worried about, man. He's saying he's practicing war games with other countries, but he's really just getting ready for the coming invasion, man. So, and ultimately thinking that he's going to be the top dog forever by having these nations forever underneath him, which we understand that that's not the case, So I hope you got something out of this and see that these devils are getting ready for that, that war in the heavens, man, So this is just an update. I saw this video today. I think it was posted, so this is something very recent. So this is just some information to get out there for the brothers, But Lord willing that this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach HaKodash, and double honors to the beloved elders, the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful Leviakim out there laboring. Peace and salutations to you believers out there, that are listening and doing the best that you can to build yourself up before these last days. 1/3. Till next time, in the elect. Shalom.